Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Your Book, Your Voice coffee chat. The open forum coffee chat I do here to talk about the audiobook world. I'm Robert A. Lane. I am an audiobook coach and producer. I specialize helping authors like yourself turn your books into audiobooks that you narrate, and you will do a fine job. And to prove it, this episode of Coffee Chat today is going to do just that. I've worked with so many great authors, so many that I'm not going to be able to feature all of them in this coffee chat, but I do want to highlight a few people, quite a few. If I didn't mention you and you're watching, don't worry, I didn't diss you. It's just I just didn't have the time. But your efforts are greatly appreciated because you did a great job. You did a great job. So we are celebrating the authors who have taken it upon themselves to make a great business decision by narrating your own audiobook. You made a great business decision. And that's what you do as an entrepreneur. You're an author brand. That's your brand. You have written and published a book. Now you decided to create an audiobook. Great move. Great move, because audiobooks, as I've mentioned before, the audiobook world has been growing and expanding over the last several years. Matter of fact, here's a quick little stat you might find interesting. Back in 2019, revenue from audiobooks surpassed ebook revenue, and that gap continues to widen. So, I mean, that's huge. That's huge. So let's get into some of the celebrations. And again, these are authors who've gone through the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program. If you want to find out more about what I do, you can always go to my website here at robertlanecoaching.com and book a call. Book a call. Let's talk about your book. I'll give you more details about the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program that I teach, which I walk with you step by step through the entire process of creating, editing, and publishing your audiobook. So feel free to book a call there. All right, so let's get into it. I'm just going to randomly pick some authors, and we're going to just go right down the line. Rebecca Babcock, great author and a very spiritually influenced book, I would say, What I Didn't Learn in Church. And she talks about her experiences of being in a formal religion and things that she learned, and especially things that she didn't learn, and her experiences. And she has some really great stories. It's definitely a memoir, but a fantastic book. And she did a fabulous job telling her story, doing the narration. And again, author narrating their own audiobook, absolutely. And she did a fabulous job. So accolades to Rebecca Babcock for her audiobook, What I Didn't Learn in Church, and it was a thrill to work with her. Let's see, who else do we have? Raylan Van Ort. Raylan Van Ort's book, From Shit to Sunshine. Incredible story. Really great memoir. She actually talks about her ordeal of being sucked into a religious cult, and how she talks about the abuse and the physical and mental abuse, and just insane, and the things that they were made to do and forced to do, and how you feel trapped. I mean, it's just an incredible, harrowing experience that Raylan shared. But a great listen. And I have to say, the way Raylan tells her story, it's great, and it's funny, it's enjoyable, it's intense, and she did such a great narration. So very, very great book for you to listen on your favorite audio platform. All right, who else do we have here? We got, okay, hold on. There we go. This is a great story. Paul Shatskin. This is actually a biography of about Philo T. Farnsworth. Philo T. Farnsworth really was the person who invented television. Out in the world, RCA likes to take the credit for it, but they didn't. Paul Shatskin talks about it in his book, and talks about the incredible life journey of Philo T. Farnsworth and everything that he went through with the big corporations like RCA trying to steal credit for what he did. The Boy Who Invented Television is written so well. Paul did a fabulous job where he relates from stories from earlier chapters to later chapters, and the way he delivers the story is great. You will love this book. Get his audiobook. you will not be disappointed. That's for sure. And let's talk about Mark Haddis's book, Awakening Your Optimal Workforce. And what was interesting about this book is that Mark took a fictional business company, and it's like a combination of fiction and nonfiction. So the book is nonfiction, talking about how to optimize your abilities in the workforce, but he takes this fictional company with fictional characters, and they described various situations that they experienced. So it's a really interesting and a great book to listen to. And Mark, of course, did a fabulous job narrating it as well. Hope to work with Mark again. He's got a lot of books out there. We got to get those in audiobooks as well. But I think you really enjoy that. Now, Tracks in the Sands of Time. Now, as a musician, I love this book by Manny Fraser. Manny Fraser, well, I guess he spent a lot of time in Tucson, Arizona. His band called the Grodes actually became pretty popular in Tucson. And then he followed his career going to LA. And boy, it's a great story. Like, if you want all those fantastic behind the scenes antics that happen with famous musicians. You hear about old classic bands like Led Zeppelin throwing TVs out the hotel windows, and the Who. Oh geez, I'm drawing a blank on the drummer. I can't believe that. But anyway, crazy drummer that drove his car into a swimming pool. Like those kind of stories. Those kind of stories are just fantastic. And even though you may not have heard of the Grodes, they were big in the 60s, but his stories are fantastic. They're great. You will love the way he tells stories. His storytelling is just so good. I know I keep saying fantastic. It's so good that you're really... Keith Moon. That's the drummer. Keith Moon is what I don't know why I couldn't think of it earlier. But anyway, Tracks in the Sands of Time, great book by Manny Fraser. You're going to love the audiobook. He does, like I say, a really great job in narrating. Ghost Flower is a book and this is a fiction book, and it's written by William F. Merck, actually narrated by Bill's wife, Senya, who I recently had on a podcast. And this is an incredible story. It's a fiction story about time travel and pandemics and living in the past and going to the past to solve the pandemic in the future. I mean, there's all this great stuff going on. And the characters are fantastic. And Senya does such a great job of bringing it to life. Now, this is a perfect example for those of you who have written fiction books. This is a fiction book, but Senya did such a great job of narration and was such a good storyteller that it doesn't matter about all the characters that are in there. You don't need different dialects. You don't need, to change voices and all that. She tells the story, and you're not confused of who's talking or what character it is. Not at all. And it's just a great listen. So check out Ghost Story. You're going to really enjoy that one. Good fiction story. Purgatory to Paradise by Mawish Syed is an incredible memoir about her journey with dealing with cancer and overcoming cancer. And because of her audiobook that she did, she is now using that as a calling card to do speaking engagements. She created a program, a course for not only doctors, but for patients who are going through this trauma. And the one thing I can say about Mawish's narration is she's very visual. You feel like you're in it. Your mind's eye can see everything that she's talking about. Really great book, Purgatory to Paradise. Fabulous narration by Mawish Syed. Again, these are all the authors, not professional speakers, just authors who have narrated their own audiobook and did a fantastic job. Who else do we have on here? Yes, Kelsey McHenry. Wow, this was an intense memoir. The Husband on Loan from Heaven. This is a story that she shares about finding the love of her life, and then he unexpectedly dies, and how she was able to claw her way back from that deep, deep sadness and depression. What an inspiring book. And Kelsey does such a great job of narrating. You can really feel and tap into the emotion that she's saying in her narration. You feel it. And that's what I talk about all the time, about the intangibles, those things that you don't necessarily physically touch, but you emotionally feel. And you know what? In a sense, you do physically feel it as well. That's what emotions do. But what a great story. You got to check this out. And of course, fabulous narration. Fabulous narration. A Fire to be Kindled was a book that was written by Kelly Smith. And it's a very empowered learners is what it's about. It's a great, not really, it's not a nonfiction book, but he talks about the program that he teaches and how it really helps with learning and homeschooling and that kind of thing. And it's just such a good book. So very inspiring, especially if you have kids. So check it out. Kelly does another fine job of doing his own narration. Money Queen is a great book by Bridget Boucher. Money Queen is something that you should, it doesn't matter whether you're male or female, she may call the book Money Queen, but you know what? The techniques and tools that she shares in her book, because she is a fractional financial advisor or financial officer, and she really shares some incredible insight on what it takes to manage your money. So check it out. Bridget did another, I say this with every author because they really did. Great, great narration. So good work, Bridget. Impact Circles. Impact Circles is a book by Elisa Quinn, and she's really done well with this book, and her narration is fantastic. And what I love about when I started working with Elisa, that her core value, and again, always being tapped into the core reason of why you wrote your book and why you're going to narrate your book in the first place, got to be tapped to that core reason. And her core reason was to leave a legacy, to leave her legacy in her own voice, in first person, coming from the source as she shares her story. And impact circles are basically little groups that she puts together, support groups. And she shares her cancer journey as well. An incredible story, very inspirational. You're going to love it and really enjoy her narration as well. So those are a few of the authors that I've worked with in the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program. So impressed and proud of the work that they did. And I'm telling you, those are really great audiobooks. You should pick them up. You should definitely pick them up. And I just want to mention again that these are not professional speakers. If you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You tell your story, because only you can express your story in audiobook form. You need to narrate it. Only you can express it the way it is meant to be heard, the way you want it to be told. As I've mentioned before, other narrators are great. Professional narrators are great. They technically sound great, but it's the disconnect that happens because they aren't tapped into your emotion. It's your emotion and your storytelling that really pulls the listener in. So that's why you need to narrate your own audiobook. And again, don't go the AI route. You're cutting corners. Audible doesn't accept AI-generated voices anyway. And you know what? You're cheapening your author brand when you do that. So don't set yourself up by putting subpar product to represent your business. Your brand is you. You don't want that misrepresented, and you don't want to put out subpar product, all right? If you want more information about what I do on the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program that I teach, I have a VIP program where I work with you one-on-one, provide you with the equipment you need to set up your own recording space, teach you how to do that, and then we go over the fine art of what it takes to do a great narration. And then as you record your audiobook, you can send your files to me. That's what you do. And as an editor, audio editor, which I've been doing for about 30 years now, I clean up your audio. I'll do all the uploading for you and to make sure that you're published properly the first time, no rejections on all the platforms that you want to be on for your audiobook. Whether you just want to be on Audible, Amazon, and Apple, great. You want to be on other platforms? Awesome. No problem. I help you with that. So go to robertlanecoaching.com, schedule a call. There's a book a call button everywhere on that homepage. Schedule a free call. It's a consultation. We'll talk about your book. I'll tell you more about the program. And in 12 weeks, your book will be narrated, recorded, and uploaded and ready for publication. So go for it. I'd love to work with you. All right, we're going to wrap it up for Coffee Chat. But before we do, the one last thing I need to do is toast to you for being an awesome author entrepreneur. So cheers. And of course, your assignment, as always, is when you're out and about in the world, smile at a stranger, say hello, give them a compliment, because that small gesture of kindness can make the world of difference in somebody's life. So be a life changer, okay? You're awesome. We'll see you on next week's Coffee Chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll say goodbye to our YouTube and LinkedIn friends first. Appreciate you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. All of you, subscribe to the Robert Lane Coaching YouTube channel.